gotta get the cake. Okay, this ain't what you used to. Always with the new, this ain't what you used to. I do me, do you. I do me, do you. This ain't what you used to. 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 This ain't what you. No, this ain't what you used to. Switching from the bikes to a new coupe. You know I keep some new shoes. Keep it simple, not like you. All night, get right. Know you know the price. Know you know the name, no games. I need all my money now. Not playing, man. This ain't what you used to. I might fly to LA. It's cold weather, ain't for me. Hit the bank, round your way. What you used to? And I'm grinding to the top. I can't let it slip away, so I gotta get the pay. Okay, this ain't what you used to. Always with the new, this ain't what you used to. I do me, do you. I do me, do you. This ain't what you used to. 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 This ain't what you. Calls keep coming in for the win, get it in. This ain't what you used to. So you get on my nerves. Try hit my line, get curved. This ain't what you used to. Round, swerve. Everybody here knows the word. This ain't what you used to. Know you know the drill. Over there now I see the rail. This ain't what you used to. I get it in for my kids. Stack those chips and I get that check. Not what you used to. You see how I live. Work my biz. I'm too far from the rest. Not what you used to. Okay, this ain't what you used to. Always with the new, this ain't what you used to. I do me, do you. I do me, do you. This ain't what you used to. 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 This ain't what you.
Hi, and welcome to Toy Photographer. Today we have a live stream, and this is a challenge. We've been doing quite a few different top 5 Funko Pops. So both Christopher from Seriously Star Wars, Eric from Sire Speed Reviews have challenged us to do some top 5 Jedi and top 5 Sith Funko Pops. Today we were actually challenged by another friend of ours to do. We've done. Eric actually from Sire Speed did the top 5 Mandalorian challenge, which we've done already. We did that last Wednesday. But today, Pop the Bounty Collector threw down a challenge to our groups to basically do a top 5 Darth Vader Star Wars Funko Pop. So we are going to be covering that today and kind of going over my top 5. So the first thing is let's kind of look into our chat there. And let's see, we've got my friend Christopher from Seriously Star Wars. Thank you for being here, buddy. He says, can't wait to see your photos for each Vader. Yeah, it should be interesting. Now, I am going to put some honorable mentions today, just a little head start. Spoiler alert, that I did not get images of. And the reason why are these two. I actually had one on the bench, if you would say, trying to photograph it and was really struggling to get the right light. So I kind of retooling that and rethinking that one, but you'll see that one coming up. Pumping Out the Beats. Yes. Thank you, Christopher. My little intro there with our music from Epidemic Sound. So without further ado, let's get into our top 5 Darth Vader Funko Pops. I have to stop. Thank you, Christopher, for the Darth Vader t-shirt. Yes. I had to bust that out today. You know, you don't get to wear this too often, so for this challenge, we had to bust it out. What's up, everyone? Hey, Eric from Sire Speed was able to join us. So excellent. So like I said just a moment ago, without further ado, we're going to get right into this. We're going to drop right now into our top 5. Hey, Eric. Hey, nice. All right. And here we go, folks. Let us get to our top 5. All right. So at number 5, we have Darth Vader in the meditation chamber, number 365. So this Funko Pop was actually one of the very, very first Funko Pops I started to try to photograph. I'm sorry that the reflection's pretty bad there in this one. But I think this Darth Vader meditation chamber is absolutely phenomenal. I remember collecting, I think it was the 500th figure in the vintage series, the 3 3/4 Darth Vader in the meditation chamber and the helmet lifted off and on. I always thought that was one of my grails as a collector of anything with Darth Vader, as he's being one of my favorite characters. So when this was released as a Funko Pop, this I absolutely had to do this one. So let us see. Now, this one here, again, this is one of my earlier images, just trying to figure out how I'm going to light these, what's the story. This one was a little more difficult. It's so big and so black, so a lot of light even to get into those crevices to highlight them. Would I ever reshoot this one? Probably in the future. I'd kind of reshoot it in more of the style that I've kind of developed over the last year or so. So, yeah, that probably would be on the docket for a possible reshoot in the future, but we'll see. We shall see. Let us go to our number 2, or number 4, rather. Bum, bum, bum. Number 4 on my list is the Darth Vader Retro Series 456. Love this figure. The image, had a lot of fun shooting this one. If anyone has been following my YouTube or my social media like Instagram, things like that, they would have seen this series. This series was a lot of fun. I actually kind of adapted a whole shooting style just for the Retro Series images because they have that graphic design look to them. They look like they've stepped right out of a comic book. They're just phenomenal paint job treatments on these sculpts. What I wanted to do is kind of keep in that genre of an animated kind of a graphic or whatnot. So what I did for this one here is I did the Darth Vader. We shot all of these against a green screen, and then I took an image for the backdrop, would bring that into another application called Comic Life, where I could actually turn it into a comic book style image so that it would, the background even fit with each of the Funkos. So I believe I did C-3PO and R2-D2 in the Retro Series. I did Obi-Wan Kenobi, Chewbacca, and Vader. And the Emperor. So I have photographed quite a bit of those. I think the only ones I still need to capture an image of is the Stormtrooper and the Luke Skywalker with red lightsaber. So that will be fun to do. Before we continue, let's take a look. We got some action going on here in the chat. All right, let me find that cursor. Sire Speed. That's a great one to start with the top 5. Yeah. That meditation chamber is pretty awesome. It is an awesome one. Meditation, nice, yes. I think, Christopher, this is one of your favorites as well. I think it might have made your top 5 if I'm correct. Dope. I don't have that one. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I love that one a lot. So good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Eric. Yeah, again, Christopher, I like how you photographed the Retro Series Vader to look like a comic book. That was kind of the whole inspiration on me tackling this wave, this entire series, was to try to make it look like you have a comic book. It's dimensional. It's coming off the page. It's kind of coming to life. And the Vader one, I couldn't do anything where he's in a Death Star and an Imperial base or anything like that, because of the treatment in the eyes had that red and the flame kind of in there. The only thing I could think of is having Darth Vader's castle in the background there on Mustafar. So this kind of reminded me more of that instead of being inside his castle and choke holding Krennic. It just kind of had that vibe, so I went with that kind of feel and look. Not necessarily recreating the scene accurately, but still recreating a cool scene for this pop. Sire speed. Yep. Thank you, Captain. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, so let's move our mouse over here, and we'll continue to number 3. Dum dum dum. So number 3 on my list, we have the Darth Vader concept series. And this one, I just love. It had to make my top 5 Darth Vaders because it is, let's face it, this is based on the original image Ralph McQuarrie did of Darth Vader that pretty much sold this whole thing that we fell in love with. If it wasn't for Ralph McQuarrie and George Lucas really doing their homework, getting a great screenplay, getting some real artwork so they can get visuals to either create and or to sell the movie, the film itself. They went hand in hand. And honestly, I don't think without Ralph McQuarrie's illustrations, Lucas would have even gotten his foot in the door at most of these studios. Even though he was doing a lot of work after American Graffiti and all those kind of things, I think this really kind of put him over the top. I need to be able to have an artist that can visualize what George had in his head, and those images today are so iconic. And as you know, most of the images that illustrations he created basically really adapted very well, and most of the characters that we see really came out of that. The characters, the places, the vehicles, just an amazing world he was able to create. So when they did this one, this was an exclusive and a shared exclusive. I had to pick this one up, the Darth Vader 389. It is just awesome. I really love it. And it's kind of got a bluish tint to it. And I like that his lightsaber kind of had this bluish white, again, referencing the Ralph McQuarrie illustration of him and Luke fighting. So very, very cool. Don't have the concept Vader, but this image makes me want one. Thank you, Christopher. Yeah, this is really good. What was fun about shooting this one, I actually used the natural light here at this window behind me. And I might have mentioned that. Why am I mentioning that natural window light and how I photographed this one? Because as you can see, I think I added one additional light to this. But you will see next week, I believe next Monday, there'll be a video dropping with a little bit of a challenge for you, my friends, who are creating Star Wars content, and to other photographers and toy photographers out there that enjoy photographing and using Star Wars Funko Pop. Tune in next Monday to one of my videos. You will see a little challenge coming your way. Again, this was all shot with natural light, nothing too fancy. A diorama that I actually used the other night for 2 different shots. The same little diorama I put together. So a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Ooh, this one I don't have. I have the second version, but this one looks better than mine. Actually, they're both kind of cool, Eric. I know, or yeah. If you've got the other one, I think you've got the one that's a little more rounded. That's the one I still want to get because I think that's kind of neat. What I was thinking of actually doing is, you've seen how I did a customized Vader already. One of the things I was thinking of doing is maybe getting another concept series. Still was really hoping we'd get a Rebels version of Vader because I wanted to chop the other face off and then do the side that Ahsoka chopped off from Star Wars Rebels with her encounter. So that might be a future pet project. We'll see. It depends. It really depends. But again, the concept series had to make it. So I did mention prior to the stream that we had some honorable mentions. So this is a great time to show my 2 honorable mentions. So I'll start with the first one. The first one in my honorable mentions is the Darth Vader getting electrocuted. If you have not picked this pop up or have seen this pop, it's fantastic. I really love how you can actually see the translucent helmet and see the skull of Vader getting electrocuted throughout that. I mean, it's phenomenal. You've got the nice acrylic lightning going all around him. You know, great pop. And the reason this really hasn't made my top 5 is it's one of the ones I hadn't photographed. And it was there's so many others that I put ahead of that one. I do love that one, so I had to give it honorable mention. Now, I mentioned there was 2 honorable mentions for tonight's top 5 Vaders. So let's look at the other one. The other honorable mention, and as I was mentioning earlier, I was trying to photograph a Funko Pop. This is that Funko Pop I was trying to photograph. The Darth Vader versus Luke Bespin duel. This is a phenomenal Funko movie moment. Love this scene. This is just great. Father and son fighting in Cloud City. Awesome pop. Very cool. Very detailed, and I love this one. This one, I think the reason I'll share with you that it gets a little bit tougher because when photographing Darth Vader, he's so black and he's so shiny and reflective and gloss. You really have to have a lot of light to get in there to get those crevices, see all those details. So trying to get that and not blow out my background, not cast too much light on Luke. I was really struggling. And of course, like a lot of photographers or toy photographers, they'll go to bed and they're thinking about that image and then they come up with an idea. So I have an idea how to reshoot it so that I can get the actual light that I want on the subject, especially Vader. I really want to see more of the detail. I don't want him to be a silhouette. I really want to see the action of the 2 of them fighting there in Cloud City. That's an awesome 2-pack movie moment. Yes, Cyrus Speed. It really is. It is one of my favorites. I still want to get the Vader versus Obi-Wan from A New Hope, the duel on the Death Star. Love to get that one. I want to get that, and I want to get the Han and Greedo movie moment really bad. Basically, a lot of the movie moments. There's quite a few of them because I like that. I also like the trash compactor. I also like the Finn cracking Phasma and seeing Phasma's mask all broken up. There's some really good ones out there, the movie moments. So really happy to have that in my collection. So anyway, those were my honorable mentions. Again, these top 5 are so difficult to do because you collect these things. There's, certain things whether it's a moment or it was that image that really grabbed me photographing and connected me to that pop is what makes our top 5 so random and so different from each and every one of our friends that I've seen doing them out there. So it's really cool to see. So we'll continue and move through. We're going to get to our number 2. Wonder what this one could be. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, hold on before we get to 2. I see there's a little chat here. Let me get in there. Nice. Nice honorable mentions. Thank you, Christopher. For Seriously Star Wars. That's an awesome 2-pack. All right, there we go. So we're caught up in our chat. All right, now we'll continue to 2. At number 2. Bam. So this one here is very different from all the pops in my collection because this is a custom one. So this custom Vader, I actually created utilizing Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan 539. I got 2 of these, and I had to make sure that they didn't accidentally cut up the Funko exclusive that I got from the Obi-Wan series, which is slightly different. It's a little bit better pose. I think it's a little more menacing than this one. And then the other part that I needed was Darth Vader number 43. So again, when I bought this, I had to get 2 of those suckers to break mine apart and do what I did. So let me show you what I did. Now, the only reason I had to make a custom Funko Pop and buy 2 and tear them apart to build this guy was because Funko, after the release of Obi-Wan, still only about until May did they release a battle damaged Darth Vader Funko Pop. So for me, this was a must. I mean, I thought it came out fantastic. And like a lot of the other Funko's collectors, they've noted that this head is very heavy. Oh, it is indeed. So when I took this guy off, the spring and head off, had to remove the spring. Then I had to cut the helmet. The helmet's actually in 2 thick pieces. There's so much plastic and vinyl, but it was actually 2 pieces. So I had to remove the helmet, remove the mask, cut out the mask, and get behind all that. So a good bit of cutting had to happen to get that done. My neighbor, Peter, who helped me with this. Actually, cut his hand trying to cut that sucker. Cut his finger pretty good. But it was a really great project. I'm very pleased with the results. Was able to get an absolute banger of an image. If you haven't seen my YouTube video on this one, I did a little movie moment kind of thing where I have, after I photographed this, had to compliment it with Obi-Wan. So if you see both of those, you're going to get, both images. And there is a video clip where I've got actually Obi-Wan and Vader having that really heartfelt, in my opinion. I don't know about yours. Leave comments below. But I felt that that moment between the two of them was very heartfelt, and it kind of really progressed the story to see him have to turn around and say, goodbye, Darth, because his friend's gone. And his friend Anakin tells him to, comes through. And I love the play of the blue and the red, and, was able to capture that in this Funko. So really enjoyed that one. Yes, custom Vader. Yes, Christopher, this had to make the cut. Had to make the cut. I mean, obviously, this would not make the cut if I got the one from Funko. That is on order already from Ozzy, so I'll get that probably before it even hits the shelves here in the United States. Eric over at Cyrus Speed. Oh, yeah, that should be number one, Patrick. It could be number one. It almost should be number one, but you'll see what my number one is. That thing is freaking amazing. Thank you very much, Eric. I had a fun time building this one. And I don't know if some of the people out there in the chat have heard me talking either on the Star Wars Popcast with my friend Christopher or in some of the other chats with you guys. But I did mention I am working on a project in August of doing, I want to create a custom Funko Pop to create an image for Halloween, but I don't want to have to race to get it done by Halloween because I might have some other ideas as well that I might want to play with. But the one I want to do is I want to do the Death Trooper, the Stormtrooper that turned into a zombie and his helmet's coming off and he's got the zombie face underneath. I want to create that as a Funko Pop, very similar to like I did this Vader. So that will be coming as a project in August. So probably stay tuned. There will be a video documenting how I did that. And it'll probably be even better and more at length because I've learned a lot in trying to film and document how I built this custom Vader. So see that, probably closer to October, obviously for Halloween, we'll save that. But that's going to be a project I'll be doing in August. Yeah, I agree with that. Custom Vader should be number one. It should be. But I still am very, very loyal to my favorites, right? So you'll see. You will see. Blood spilled for this one. He cut his finger pretty good, man. Pretty good. But it was all in the love and for this, project. And I remember trying to get this done because I was under the duress and stress of if I don't create this and get this done, Funko's going to eventually come out with theirs any day. And it would take all the hype out of building this one myself. But it was like a solid year after this was even, but this took me a few months to get to. We started it and we had to come back and get to it again. So this took probably, on and off, meeting up with my neighbor and cutting things and gluing things. Probably took a little over a month, probably a little longer. In the length that we stretched it out, just having the time for the two of us to hang out and do that. But yeah, this custom Vader, most people, and even myself, would want to put it to number one, but I still have my ultimate favorite at number one. So let's get to that. Number one. Because there can be only one. Number one. Top 5 Vader Funko Pops. And this one still, to this day, I still think that the Lights and Sound Vader is still my favorite. It's just awesome. You get the lightsaber lights up. You can see the chest plate lights up. You get a little bit of the base. Just a really great Funko Pop. Really great Funko Pop. And this is why this one, again, still, even out of my Sith top 5 and my Vader top 5, this Lights and Sound Vader still in my heart takes the number one. I have not yet bought the 18-inch Vader. That will be something I'll probably add to my collection once I get everything rearranged and have the space to put my 18-inch Boba Fett that I got on Black Friday. Still haven't put that out yet and taken that out of its box, but they're awesome. I even like the smaller one more than my 10-inch Lights and Sound Vader that I recently got this past few months this year. The reason I like that, it's bigger, but I was a bit disappointed because of the time that released. I was honestly hoping there would have been a variation or difference, whether it be the sculpt or whether we would be getting Lights and Sound from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series is kind of what I was really hoping for. So if anything, I think I was a little crestfallen when I played. It was the same as this one. So it's kind of like, So I like the little one. I like the small one. I like the base on that a little bit more. So, all right, let's get back to our buddies in the chat. All right, Eric, Zombie Trooper. Yes. Yes. I think I sent you the hint a while ago that would be one that I'd work on. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. Again, trying to stay ahead of the curve. So I'm not like, come Halloween time, picking out costumes, taking the kids trick or treating and trying to squeeze in a special project for a special photo for the holiday. So trying to get it done in August, Things that you learn in your career. Like I remembered working at my time at Nabisco and Craft, we would typically August is Thanksgiving time. So I remember going for like couple different days that I wouldn't even bring a lunch or go anywhere because we would literally eat as a family, all the art directors, all the photographers, everyone in the studio, assistants, everybody, sitting there having Thanksgiving because we cook like 2 or 3 turkeys to shoot all the products and packaging and layouts and stuff that we needed for Thanksgiving. We're kind of in this 2-week period in August. So yeah, trying to learn from that and try to get my holiday stuff photographed a little bit earlier and produced earlier. Love that number one. Thank you, Pop the Bounty Hunter. Ricky's here. Nice. I probably didn't say it. Pop the Bounty Collector. That's how it's said. With that emphasis. Thank you for joining, Ricky. Appreciate it. That photo looks amazing. Yeah, and it's cropped, obviously. This is actually a vertical photo, but love this one. If you actually go on the social media or Instagram or YouTube, you'll actually see the video clip or the actual image of this. This is recreating that scene, I think, from episode 3 or 4 in Obi-Wan, where he basically kind of, or actually it's episode 6. I'm thinking of the other one I took. This one here is when he throws the rocks on Obi-Wan and says, I'm surprised you thought you could beat me, Master. You're wrong. But love this image and loved creating this one. Again, trying to photograph Vader, there's so much detail. It's all black and you need a lot of light. So this one was really fun to do because I was able to really kind of lean on the gel lighting on this one, and it really gave a really cool effects because I had some blue gels and some red, so kind of blended in areas with that purpley look. It just came out fantastic. I really did enjoy shooting this one. Yes, the 18-inch. Ricky, you have that sucker. I have no idea where to put something like that mouse, but that is definitely on my list of things to capture in the next year. What's up, Ricky? Said Sire Speed. My buddy Eric. Nice. Number one. Didn't make my top 5 list because I went with the poses over the Lights and Sound. No, Christopher, that's the beautiful thing about this. Like, seriously, Star Wars and all these guys that are actually in our live stream chat right now, a lot of these guys were either the ones responsible for getting everyone to do the top 5s or have just, been challenged and have produced their top 5s. But it's the great thing. Everybody who's done these top 5s, they are so different. So whether you tune into mine, tune in Seriously Star Wars, Noah over at Rogue Nation, Tony at Star Wars Sith, Ricky, Pop the Bounty Collector, Will, Padawan Pops, Jedi Lex, all of our top 5s are so different. So different. Even when Eric over at Sire Speed did his top 5 of the Mandalorians, and he was doing Justin Jarns, and other people like myself did all the different Mandalorians. It's been such an eclectic and fun challenge to do. So it's been a challenge I really enjoy. I think my last one is the Trooper Challenge, and I think Tony from Star Wars Sith challenged us to do that one. So that one's in the works. That'll probably be out next Wednesday for the live stream. Same bat time, same bat channel. Will come in at 7:30 next Wednesday, and we'll do our top 5 troopers. The only reason being as troopers, I don't have 5 clone troopers, because I don't even. They might have actually produced 5 by now, but at this point, for me collecting all of them, the only clone trooper I actually have was the one in the 3-pack, the Utapau clone trooper with the orange markings. And I do have a Commander Cody, which is, again, one of the earlier images I photographed here in my toy photography series. So that was a lot of fun. That one really got me. After that Vader meditation chamber, I started I did that. I think I did like a Yoda in his hut, and kind of started from there picking up different pops, and really kind of found my rhythm and how I want to photograph these. Seriously, Star Wars. Christopher said, "Hey, Ricky." Oh man, this chat's blowing up here, guys. Thank you. Hello, Eric. Popped it from Ricky. Popped the bounty collector. Hey, Chris. Popped the bounty. I got the 10-inch light and sound Vader. Yeah, it is a good one. I like it. Had I not had this one and had this one for such a long time, and they didn't release that Vader around the Kenobi time, I wouldn't have minded just getting a larger version. But I was kind of on the wistful hope that they might have given us a little bit of a bonus, maybe some different sound effects, maybe, or something. I don't know. I was a little disappointed, but in the end, I still love it. 18 Vader is damn near life size. It sure is. Christ, I thought that if he took the head off Vader, he could Ricky could have put that over his head and cosplayed as a Darth Vader bobblehead. That thing's massive. If I had space for the 18-inch Vader, Christopher said he'd get it. I went, seriously, stars. Yeah, it's they're big. I still have to figure out how I'm going to set up the 18-inch FET. So true, Eric said. Yeah, Tony challenges the top 5 troopers. You can use any type of trooper. Excellent, Eric. Excellent. Yeah, and I've honestly have redone that presentation 3 times already, because I go down in the basement and I'm looking at my pop collection and I'm like, oh, wait, what about this one? So again, if you love your Star Wars Funko Pops, it's really tough to choose just 5 to be your top 5. There's a reason there's lots of waves of them. Yeah, I did the top 5 stormtroopers for mine. Nice. Hello there. Hey, Tony. Thanks for coming, bud. Appreciate it. Just finished recording this week's episode of Sit Talk. Better late than never. Excellent. If you guys haven't stopped over, Tony had some great stuff for the members. He has a nice little video talking about the possible HasLab release of The Ghost from Star Wars Rebels. That would be awesome. I know I'm expecting to see that. And if they do, I know they have all those stretch goals, because I actually did the Razor Crest. I did that within the first hour of it dropping. And very excited for that one. And I was so happy we got all the stretch goals, because I got the Stan. I got all the guys Frozen Carbonite. I got the Jawa. I got the Mandalorian, and I got the Grogu with the pram. And it's absolutely phenomenal. That piece is just awesome. It did suck that they blew it up in season 2 after you just literally you had it for about a month, and then boom, a couple episodes later, it's gone. I'm like, oh, because that to me was iconic to that character. That was his ship, and it was awesome. I really did like it. Now, do I love the N1? I do. The only problem I have with the N1, it is awesome, and it's a great fighter for him to have. But how's he going to bring back his bounties in that? Like, is he strapping them to the undercarriage? I'm kind of curious on how he's bringing back his bounties in that. So we'll see. I have a feeling that we'll see another Razor Crest in the future, possibly. Hit the like button. 0 likes. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. I'm at 199, folks. I'm almost at 200. I think a week ago we did this. We're at 198. So that steady crawl of 2 subscribers. I know there's a lot of people watching the content. Please hit the subscribe. A lot of effort goes into all of our channels and the efforts we make to entertain ourselves and you. So please hit that. Sup, Tony? Said Eric over at Sire Speed. Thumbs up. Recording 5 troopers tomorrow. Nice, Ricky. Very nice. And if you haven't seen some of Ricky's, he's got some fire. He's got heat, man. He's got a good collection as well. Hey, Tony from Christopher over at Seriously Star Wars. Nice, Ricky. All right. So for those that are actually here, I will give you a slight hint. We kind of dropped a little bit of a hint when I mentioned how I photographed my concept series Darth Vader just using my window light, literally the window right here behind me. And where that lamp is, just yonder behind me, there is literally where I set up my diorama and that Vader. So that natural light came in. So my hint to you folks is play with your iPhone, play with your camera settings, go out and play with some natural light. That is the hints I will give. There's no greater hint than that. So expect a challenge dropping next Monday in one of my videos. You'll see. It'll be pretty exciting. And if you have any questions on it or whatnot, you can always message me, Toy Photographer, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Vero. I think I hit them all. I think I hit them all there. Great top 5, Patrick. Thank you very much, Christopher, at Seriously Star Wars. I really appreciate your support. You guys are the best. This group of Star Wars content creators are here in our live chat. These are all some of the best friends and best creators I could have in YouTube world. You know, honestly, these guys push you and push you out of your comfort zone to get out there and strive to do better. So I've always appreciated all the efforts these guys have done in their own channels, as well as supporting and pushing me to go on further than mine. I think I probably would have hung this up months ago if it wasn't for folks like this. And I enjoy photographing it. For me, I do commercial photography. So when I got to do something that was like a hobby, because a lot of times people are like, well, what do you do? I do imagery. Okay. You know, I create products, you know, packaging and stuff like that. So for me to just pick up my camera on my time not in the studio was kind of tough. So I had actually, if you had caught one of my earlier streams on this, I actually started by utilizing the iPhone to really pressure myself and give myself a challenge of how I can create an image just with my iPhone, not bringing out the Hasselblad, not bringing out the Canons, 7200, the macro lens, leaving all that behind, stripping it down to basic light, focus. That is it. The iPhone is merely a tool. My little Lume cubes that I use, again, just a tool. There's nothing more I couldn't do with a reflector, piece of foam board, and some natural light from the sun. So again, that I want you guys to think about that, because when you accept the challenge next Monday, those things will come into your head. Is right there, Eric. It'll be good time, I'm telling you. 100%. Challenge accepted. You haven't announced it yet, but I will accept. Nice. Do you know what you're getting yourself into? No, trust me, you will see. I have tried to make this challenge absolutely simple and fun. I want you guys to have fun when you do it. That is actually one of the rules, is to have fun. I use my Android because I don't mess with the iPhone. Whatever. I don't care if you had a Nokia and had to shoot with that. You know, the idea was to not have a camera, because I don't want anyone who has cameras and stuff to feel that they're going to pull off something better than anybody else. So again, stripping it down to the bare basics, light, focus, something else, some natural light, you'll see. Nice. Laughing. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you all on late this evening. I know that was very brief, our time together tonight, but thank you for coming and tuning in to my top 5 Darth Vader Star Wars Funko Pop. I know there's a lot to choose from. There's so many Vaders out there that have been produced. These are my top 5. I had a fun time gathering these, pulling the images. It was great to review some of these images I haven't looked at in a little bit. So it was a lot of fun for me, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy it. Again, if you haven't, please hop over to Toy Photographer. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube. Like I said, I'm on Facebook as well, Twitter, and Vero, and TikTok. Check it out. I've got photos and some shorts up there all the time, as well as I often will do every once in a while what's coming in, that, you know, what packages we're getting. So my version of unboxing, or what's in the box, and you'll see some of those. And live streams like this. So if you enjoy this kind of content, please hit that subscribe, hit the like, hit that notification bell. Don't miss anything more from Toy Photographer. And if I'm not here on my channel, one of the things I always say when you see me on Mondays, if I'm not here, I'm always hanging out with my friend, Seriously Star Wars, Christopher. and we have a podcast that we do, the Star Wars Popcast, and that drops every Monday. So if you want to find out any news, rumors, we're doing top 10s, top this, always doing reviews, having special guests and stuff like that. Please come on. We just had Big Country not too long ago. Jedi Lex was on just recently, as well as we had K-Dog and Fish. So if you guys want to tune into that, by all means, it's the Star Wars Popcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube. So between Toy Photographer and the Star Wars Popcast, I think that we try to bring you, our audience, our lovers of Star Wars Funko Pop, our Funko evangelists, as much news and imagery as we can on Star Wars Funko Pop. So with that, I bid you adieu. Have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you next week.